So guys, Nigerians have been reacting after a video of Tinubu's campaign vehicles for 2027 started circulating. Like you can see, Sahara Reporter captured it saying Tinubu distributes new Hilux Hummer buses to states for 2027 campaign amid soaring insecurity. That has come with a whole lot of criticism from Nigerians. But before we get into that, let me take you through more troubling headlines here. This one says gunmen abduct fresh Nigerian lawyer on his way to Ekiti after call to bar ceremony. This like some hours ago, and Tinubu is busy thinking of 2027. Another headline here says gunmen abduct Catholic priest Emmanuel Ezema from Zaria Diocese residence. Another Catholic priest kidnapped. So guys, the country is boiling and Tinubu is busy campaigning for 2027. You can see the level of, insensitivity among the so-called leaders in Nigeria. Tinubu is busy with 2027. That is why even all that the United States has been saying makes no meaning. His body language shows that he's not bothered about what's happening in the country. People cannot travel. You must have seen the roads are constantly blocked by kidnappers. I mean, on several occasions, the roads are unpassable because there will be operations happening at different points, and the Tinubu's government is very calm. Don't forget that Tinubu has nominated a new defense minister, and guess what? He has been confirmed by the Senate, but Nigerians are saying that is not who, he's not the one to end the insecurity. That if Tinubu's body language still shows he doesn't care, that this man cannot perform miracle, Tinubu has to show the political will to end insecurity if he really wants to end it. It's not a matter of changing defense ministers. Now, let me show you how Nigerians are reacting to the Tinubu's campaign vehicles already circulating. This is 2025. Tinubu is already campaigning for 2027 election. This person here say this is in the midst of unprecedented hardship and hunger. See where the useless frog eye man heart is. Election. Useless and hopeless situation. This other person here said, we are in December 2025. People are being killed, kidnapped, can't travel, and rendered homeless. Yet your mind is already busy figuring out how to retain power through your usual crooked methods. This lack of empathy is loud. It's loud. At least try to pretend you are a human. And this other person here say, but that is insensitive to our plight. We are fighting and trying to see how to secure our lives from this insurgent, and he's provoking our psyche by talking about 2027 that he doesn't know whether he will live up to then. Oh, honestly. And this person say, with lots of chaos in the country, all the president is concerned about is winning election. There is money to buy Hilux, Prado, Haice for campaign, but not for armed forces. Lots of police stations in Nigeria don't have vehicles. Even most of their buildings look so dilapidated, honestly. This person say the country is bleeding and Tinubu is branding 2027 campaign buses. He hasn't been able to protect citizens in his current mandate, and he wants another mandate. This person here said every penny spent on these vehicles enriches foreign countries and strengthens their economy. Wrapping the cars and paying the recipients are other expenses. Nobody can tell or account for this loot. Nigeria is a lawless nation where politicians get away with anything. You can imagine all these are foreign vehicles and they want Nigeria to progress. And this person says Nigeria don't borrow itself, reach level of pure absurdity. At least now we they see where all the borrowing they enter. We don't they shout them since, but 2025 never finish, and campaign boss for 2027 don't already lined up with public funds. This no be governance. Now election spending with taxpayer money while country scatter. Another person here say, where is the money coming from? Tinubu has turned federal coffer into his party and personal bank to fund his dream of a second term. This is abusive and corrupt practice. He is throwing more money at members of other parties that it is easy for them to switch parties. That's just what he's doing, And this person here said Tinubu is already distributing Hilux and Hummer buses for 2027 while Nigerians are being slaughtered daily. Where is INEC chairman, or has he gone Mahmoud blind deaf or simply complicit? This is an open violation of electoral laws. Yet the same system that screamed rule of law suddenly goes mute. What exactly is Tinubu going to campaign about? Is it with hardship, insecurity, or fraud? This is what happens when a snatch it, grab it, run with it civilian coup on democracy happen to a nation. Hey, and this other person here said, I like how they are already branded. Make it easy to identify for stoning by angry citizens when elections start, allegedly. So guys, but it's really so heartbreaking to see Tinubu displaying campaign vehicles. You can see that this Reverend Father you are seeing here has been kidnapped. This Reverend Father in Kaduna again. Kaduna, there's many Reverend Fathers have gone in that Kaduna, honestly. Many of them, and hardly the kidnappers let them go alive. Hardly. I just pray that this one comes back safely. So guys, let me know your thought on this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification. Thank you.
A 2021 video featuring the Minister of State for Defense and former Governor of Zamfara State, Bello Matawalle, stating that not all bandits are criminals, has resurfaced online, sparking controversy. Speaking with journalists at the Aso Rock Villa, Matawalle claimed that some bandits take the law into their own hands because they are ill-treated by vigilante groups who go to their settlements, destroy property, and take their animals, leading to reprisal attacks. Let's take a look.
It's the same, and it's not all of them are criminal. Not all of them are criminal, because if you know, or maybe if you investigate what is happening or what makes them to take those laws into their hand, some of them sometimes were cheated by so-called Nsakai, and I have to ban completely the Nsakai in my state. The Nsakai, those called vigilante group, who normally went to their settlement, destroy their property and take their animals. So they doesn't have anyone to speak with. So sometimes they are going for revenge. Like if Ntsake attack them, so they will go for reprisals. So that is what exactly happening. And some of them are living in a settlement where close to a village or town, and they sometimes if there is maybe operation, military operation, the military will go and destroy their properties and their animals. So they are angry with such actions sometimes. So sometimes if you are talking to them, you can understand where they are coming from and you can understand their problems. So it is important we as leaders to sit down with those people to understand what is the genesis first. You can't just, jump and conclude that the person is a criminal. You have to listen to him. What makes him to go into that activities? So this is what to do. So they are not all of them. It's not all Fulani are criminals. Some are good citizens, but due to some circumstances, they subscribe to such a criminality.
You can't say all of them are criminals. This video of Matawalle has been widely criticized by Nigerians who argue that regardless of any grievances, bandits terrorizing communities, kidnapping innocent people, and destroying lives and property cannot be justified or excused under any circumstances. The resurfacing of this video is particularly significant as it raises questions about his approach to tackling terrorism, given his position as Minister of State for Defense. Vimbai, I'll come to you on the story. I'd like to just, juxtapose the two stories at this point. We're seeing a minister talking about criminals and saying that not all of them are criminals. I mean, how do you even justify that?
And Oji, and you also have to add the dimension of the fact that he's, former governor of Zamfara State, and that the current governor of Zamfara State has raised several complaints and concerns about the fact that he's been trying to get collaboration and assistance to deal with banditry, insurgency, criminality in his state, but it's falling on deaf ears. And you ask yourself, well, if this is the person who is part of the people at the helm of affairs with regards to defense issues, and you look at somebody like General Christopher Musa, who is being praised for the collaborative element that he brought to his home state. And then you look at this gentleman who, in all intents and purposes, seems to have abandoned the security issues of his state. And why is that? Because he's chosen to sanitize banditry, criminality, and insurgency. We cannot sanitize criminality. Now, there is the psychology of crime. And yes, that's a very interesting, shall I say it, school school of thought to venture into. However, if that is what the minister is passionate about, that's something maybe he can fund research for criminals who have been prosecuted, convicted, and incarcerated. Those studies happen from the confines of prison. We cannot continue to treat people who are perpetuating all manner of crimes, terrorist activities, from abducting school children, you hear stories of pregnant women, vulnerable soft targets living in fear. People have been displaced. And in all of this, we're trying to create a narrative where the perpetrators of this crime are the victims. They are not the victims in this. Like I said, there is the psychology of criminality, which is something that people can pursue in their own time. And if they want to make investment into, the study of all of that, everybody is welcome to do so. But that's something that you study from people who are inside prison. They're incarcerated because they felt the full wrath of the law. Now, what are the three things that are currently on the table? Number one, people are saying these groups must be disarmed. Number two, people are saying we need to see displaced people going back home. And number three, which really ties in directly to this, is let's see the prosecution of these people. No, we're no longer in the realm of explaining away these problems when they are posing daily, not just an existential threat to these communities and these states, but it's now becoming an existential threat to Nigeria as a whole. So this type of rhetoric and body language, I feel, has no place in this rejigging of security infrastructure that our president is doing at the moment.
There is no negotiation with terrorists. What you have are official terrorists and bush terrorists having a conversation. So what you call negotiation is the discussion about sharing formula between the official terrorists who bring the money and the unofficial terrorists in whose name they are collecting the money. It's a racket. They are running a racket in front of you. There's a lot of money in government, and insecurity is one way to collect it without receipts. That's what they are doing. They're just scamming the Nigerians. There is no insecurity in the land that Nigerian armed forces and Nigerian police cannot get rid of under a good presidential system, under a good presidency. They will get rid of it. What they are doing is just scamming you. Just that they are constructing roads to nowhere. They are building bridges that will never finish. There are a lot of projects in the sky. They found out that all other projects, you ask them, where's the road? Where's the bridge? Where's the school? But if they inundate you with insecurity, you cannot, and they say they have rescued 500 children, and 500 billion is gone. You cannot ask for receipts. If they are in the bushes, exchanging food and drinks with terrorists, and tell you that they have spent 4 trillion to keep you secure, you can't ask questions. That's why the president will tell you, every president will tell you, I will finish them. But when he comes in, they finish him with money. And he feels, okay, this is an easy way to raise money for campaign. That is why Nigeria has, in the world of hotel business, Nigeria has the highest number of military generals owning hotels, estates, and everything, on a salary of how much?
All right, let's look at, let me play the devil's advocate. If you have made the president today...
There are no devils in the country already, but you go ahead.
All right. Let's see, if you have made the president today, how will you address some of these challenges that you have pointed out that have consequence of almost failed Nigerians? How will you address it in 30 days?
The first thing to do is that you have to get a priority right. You have a pact with whoever you are going to make Chief of Army, Chief of the Navy, Chief of the Air Force, Head of the IG of Police, DG of DSS, DMI, NIA, Civil Defense. You talk to everybody. I want the terrorists gone in 30 days. If they don't go in 30 days, you give me a letter of resignation. Simple. I'm not recruiting one more person to join you. I'm not doing anything. I am telling you in 30 days, or if you think you can't do it, don't take the job now. So that's the understanding between you and me when I'm giving you the job. And you will say, I can't do the job. give it to the next person. I retire you and give it to the next person. But I find somebody who says, yes, we die here. Either, sir, I will be dead, or the terrorists will be dead. That is the person who can head my armed forces. Anybody who wants to go and run for governor later, saving money for it, go and find out what is the trajectory of all the service chiefs we have been having since 2008, when they foisted this scam called Boko Haram on us. Go and find out. Their trajectory is towards politics and big business. So I need to put a stop to that. Second, I need to govern the country according to the law. There is no terrorist who should be bigger than the divisional police officer in that division. Anything that will make me have a DPO in a police division that has a smaller gun than a terrorist, then I don't have a police. The biggest gun in the land ought to belong to the army. The next biggest gun should belong to the police. And there should be no terrorists who should be able to upset the armed forces. I don't know if you have organized a choir before.
Sure.
Once your choir members are up to 45, you must buy Panadol extra to coordinate them. Imagine an untrained person who happens to be a fanatic or a lunatic, and he says he's setting up a band of terrorists, and they are occupying territories the size of a state. How are they financing it? The logistics of it, the communication, and the whole country cannot raise an army to defeat them. If a terrorist is recruiting, before you can get 1,000 people, the government will know that it's a terrorist already. Government can quietly recruit 100,000 soldiers and nobody will know, and train them. A terrorist can be sponsored by 2 or 3 countries. Nigeria has 146 international friends. Many of them have treaties with us that will not stop them, that will not allow them to give excuses not to assist us. And many of the terrorists are well known. They have telephone numbers of governors. And every commissioner of police in the state has the telephone number of terrorists in that state. So, I will end this scam. Oh, clear. There's nothing complicated there. The real terrorist is the Azo Villa. The headquarters of Boko Haram is the same address of Tinubu. So if you post a letter to Tinubu, if it doesn't come out on time, Boko Haram will collect the letter and read it and pass it to him. They live together. They work together. They plan together. And they share together.
How do you mean that the headquarters, the address is at the villa?
Because the villa, the state house, is where all this criminality is being planned. If you deceive yourself and think that Nigerian army cannot defeat the terrorists, then you don't know Nigerian army. Try and whistle at the wife of a general, and you see how the entire barrack will descend on you. Try and a home minister of FCT could not collect 1 plot of land. You saw how that Navy captain stood his ground there, telling Wike, yes, you are not coming here. Imagine if every captain stood their ground and said terrorists not entering Nigeria like that. If the armed forces strong enough to stop a minister who is representing the president from misbehaving on the land that he has interest, say, I have my orders. So are you telling me, if the president of Nigeria gives an order that the whole of Lagos State should be evacuated, the army in Lagos will evacuate everybody? If they give an order that the whole of Kanu State should be evacuated, the army has enough capacity to evacuate the whole state. The president made a proclamation, and the entire government house was forcibly evacuated in one day. So you are telling me that the president wants to end this thing, he will not end it. But their political money is tied to it.
Mm.
And if you think maybe because I don't like them, which I don't pretend about that. Go and read the EFCC reports on what Jonathan did with the money he borrowed in the name of fighting Boko Haram. You are a journalist. You saw the trials. You saw the investigation. Who was collecting the money? The money was shared to politicians, girlfriends, contractors. Let's say we are even a nation of cripples. That sometimes in the past, there was no proper polio vaccination. And majority of Nigerians are crippled, we have no leg. We have enough resources to hire machinery to kill Boko Haram and terrorists and bandits. 5% of the money we make from gas, liquefied LNG, is enough to hire mercenaries. There are countries that are small like Qatar, Kuwait, and all of that. And they have vast lands. It's impossible for them to raise an army. Because their entire population is like a campus, a university campus in Nigeria. But they hire experts, and their country is still safe. How can Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, all those tiny population countries are feeling you can drive anywhere you like? I travel to those countries, I drive day and night in vast open land where nothing to stop you. You want to invade. Nobody is invading them. Your TV station, I've seen you with a number of drones because you like to cover a wedding, a football match, or anything. But our Nigerian police will be using word of mouth to look for bandits and terrorists. They can't even hire a drone. And they have billions. The person Tinubu put as his Minister of Defense, of all the people in Nigeria today that know something about defense, says that bomb cannot enter bushes. That when the bush is too thick, a bomb cannot enter. That's how we can catch terrorists. That is the Minister of Defense. Even in a comedy skit, a Minister of Defense will say, no, this is too stupid. I can't say it. But he said it. So governors who were known and were accused of being Boko Haram collaborators, they are the ones who put in charge of defense. So if you are a terrorist and your best buddy is in charge of the army of the other side, won't you go and buy a bottle of champagne and first chill and say, okay, the business has continued? So they're not serious. It gives the feeling to Nigerian people. They make the army look fatigued, so that when you see the army, you don't have confidence anymore. I remember during the time of 2023 election, was late 2022, I was campaigning to Zamfara State. I will go to the border and the army said, sir, you cannot pass. It's night, there's a curfew, nobody can pass here. Yeah. We have somewhere to go. What do you mean by that? They say, Boko Haram's on the way. We say, well, we still have to go. I want to be commander-in-chief of armed forces. How can I not be able to walk around my country again? So if escort us, they said no. So one of my campaign managers, Lawa, said, look, let's go and get vigilante. And we got vigilante. And they enter our convoy. And we go and we were going and they were saying, look at Boko Haram people there. And the vigilante came down, chased them, and they were running and we passed. And I came back and I gave an interview on TVC that, hey, this thing is a scam. I went somewhere 2 days ago and the army told me nobody can pass. And I took vigilante and we chased them away and we passed. That's far back as 2022. It's 3 years plus now. So what I'm letting you know is that big coup in Guinea-Bissau that they just did now. If they tell the 3D, the 3rd Division of Nigerian Army, go and flush them out, they will go and flush those people out. Nigerian Army, Nigerian forces can flush out Boko Haram, and Nigerian police can secure this country if there's a political leadership that says, do it. But there's nobody who is a commissioner of police, AIG or DIG, who too doesn't want to be a billionaire, and a governor, and a minister, and a senator, if that is the business of the day. There's nobody who's a general who sees his cosmate building hotels, estates. Go and take Nigeria, military intelligence, just watch the spouses of your military officers. See them go to Madeira, go to Dubai, go to Cancun, go to the best places, shopping and buying things which the lifetime salary of their husband cannot afford. When serving military officers are sponsoring people for governor, concerning for that. So, I don't blame them. I blame the person who claims to be commander-in-chief, who is not doing the job. So that is what is happening. And if Nigerians don't understand that the spelling of Boko Haram is the same spelling as government.
So guys, a whole lot of reactions have been going on after another Reverend Father was said to have been kidnapped in Zaria. I just wonder what is happening. These people want to see Reverend Father that have dedicated their whole life. They are not going to be getting married. They are not into business. They are not even, their social life has been taken away from them. Now, right inside the church, you still go to kidnap them. They are dying shamelessly in Nigeria. And the government is not doing anything. So guys, it's really so sad that we are experiencing all this in Nigeria today. And guess what? As he's kidnapped now, the government will not even do anything. Have you not heard that the 6 Ministry of Defense personnel that were kidnapped? See, today, a man is still looking for his wife. I think there were 6 women traveling to Abuja for a promotional exam. They were kidnapped. Some say they've released some say they did not release any, and all that. And a man was on Channels television yesterday lamenting that he has not seen his wife. He escorted his wife to the park till the wife took off. He said at a point he started calling the number weren't going. They kidnapped them. The defense ministry did not inform him. The government did not inform him. He only went to the park to ask. They now told him that their vehicles were, the bus was ambushed and kidnappers took the occupants into the bush. Since then, he has not seen his wife. So when you look at what is happening around insecurity in Nigeria, you just keep wondering what is happening in Nigeria. How long are we going to be doing this? Anyway, let me take you through some of the reactions about the Reverend Father who has been taken by these bandits. Why are terrorists abducting and killing our priests? President Donald Trump, we need help, please. Ted Cruz, please do not stop speaking. Why are they kidnapping these priests? People that have sacrificed all their lives. It's a sad situation. A very, very sad situation, honestly. A very sad one. I don't know how we are going to come out of this. And Tinubu is busy. You know? Tinubu is busy displaying campaign buses. It's really so sad. May God save the souls. Meanwhile, Catholic bishop allegedly said this: you can kill 10 million people and it still won't amount to genocide. Bishop Coker denies massacre of Christians in Nigeria, insists reports of persecution and martyrdom are false. Honestly, how many imams have they picked up? They don't pick up imams. They only go for Reverend Fathers. Oh, may God please help. Oh. When will it end? When will all these be things of the past? Gracious God, merciful Father, please grant him safe return of your son and servant, and anyone else who are in captivity. May they all regain their freedom and be reunited with their loved ones. Amen. This person here said, the situation has flown off the rail. We are past sanction and diplomacy. It's time to send the rain. It's really time to send the rain. I believe strongly that the Catholic bishop in Igbo land are naive, both spiritually, physically, politically, judging from the attitude of Matthew Hazan Kuka, the Igbo Catholic bishops, and maybe their Yoruba counterparts, should know they are not in the same service with Kuka. It's really so sad. Reverend Kuka I hope he's seeing all this. Guess what? The average Nigerian will move on like it's not their business. As far as it's not their family member or close one, it's not their business. Nigeria go touch all of us. Nigerian masses, stop being selfish. Nigerian masses, stop being those Nigerian masses, wake up. Honestly, the Christian genocide goes on and on. It's now a cycle, and this person is a brave guy. I might have toast my and gone witch doctor or whatever. He will be in our prayers. Oh God, please. Please, so praying this has to stop. So guys, it's really so sad that we are seeing all this. A reverend father. I don't know what they see with reverend father. I will, but I'm trying to find out who is willing to try to stop this. Definitely not the heads of the church. Prayer is important, but faith and work. Faith and works is necessary. So who is doing the works? I mean, it is very important. You know, many reverend fathers are being kidnapped in the north, and the bishops are just quiet. They are just quiet. I mean, bishops are quiet. If you can remember recently, Reverend Archie from Anglican Church just died days ago in captivity. The wife is still in captivity, and see what we are seeing. This person here says, this is not English. Let me take another one. Unfortunately, praying alone is not stopping this. This is a systemic erosion of priests from the north. Mission houses has to have armed securities, honestly, because these murderers are not stopping. Bishop of, I think Koka is the bishop of Sokoto Diocese. I don't know if Sokoto Diocese is also with Kaduna Diocese. I think they are not. So we don't know who is really responsible. Tinubu, something other needs to be done to rescue the Reverend Father so that he won't be killed like other pastors and his wife in custody of the abductors. My former Reverend Father Emmanuel, God, please be with him. Now, wow. The abduction and murders of Christians in Nigeria are carried out by Boko Haram and Fulani Islamists. Please pray that the local authorities and the Nigerian government will start doing the right thing. Removing the terrorists from society. They can't keep terrorizing the innocent. I'm really so worried for this man's life, honestly. Oh, not again. This is sad. May God help and deliver him in Jesus' name. And he is from Musuka. May the Almighty God protect him and bring him back safely. Oh, Papa, this one that he's an able man. Jehovah. God, please send angels to cover and protect Father. Wrap him in the wings of your angels. Ew. The Catholic Church has suffered the most kidnapping and killings of clergy in Nigeria, with 145 plus priests targeted since 2015, making the global epicenter of such attack on Catholic leaders. Urgent international and local intervention is needed to curb this crisis. I think people need to start tagging the Pope, because this thing does not even need soft hands, you know. It doesn't really need soft hands the way we see it. This person here say this is too much. Let Catholic priests stop wearing their garment to move around. They should be in mufti. This will happen inside the church since they are being targeted. Furthermore, masses should stop in areas where attacks are prevalent. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going, for goodness sake. Baba God, please let him return safely. So guys, it's very heartbreaking and also disturbing at the same time that this Reverend Father has been kidnapped, and we just hope he returns safely. The Tinubu's government, you can't even rely on them, because don't forget that the children that have been kidnapped from Niger State are still in captivity, and you know what that means, under torture. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification. Thank you.